Good morning, everyone. So my name is Raju Kumar, and this is our SQL playlist in which we are discussing about the SQL commands. So in this video, we will know about the basic commands related to the database. So coming to the topic, first of all, we know that for storing any data in the SQL, we want a database. So first of all, we have to know how to create a database, how it is created. So for creating the database, we use the command create. So here you can see that we use the command create for creating a database, and its syntax is we use the create database, and here is the database name. This is the syntax for creating our database. So this is the syntax for creating our database. So this is our SQL command. So in this example, we can see that we are creating a database named as org. You can put any name of your choice here. I am choosing org as our database name. So our database is created in the MySQL by using the command create database. So in the next process, we want to know that our database is created or not. We want to check that our database is created. So for checking the database, we use the command, our syntax or SQL command is show databases, semicolon. So by using the command show databases, we can see all the databases stored in the MySQL. So it will show as output that our databases has, if we created a org database, then it will show that org database is created. It will show as an output here. So we see first creating database, and second we see creating the means checking the database. The next process, we want to know that हम लोग जैसे जानते हैं कि कोई भी database हो सकता है हमारे SQL में, हमारे MySQL एप्लीकेशन में. तो हमें कौन सा database यूज करना है अपने चॉइस का, उसके लिए एक कमांड है यूज कमांड. सो बाय यूजिंग द कमांड यूज, वी कैन use our specific database by specifying that we are using this database. So for using database, the command is or syntax use and your database name. For example, use org. So by writing the command use org, now our org database is used for any manipulation or retrieval. Now in the next process, we learn about how the table is created in a database. So for creating a table in a database, the syntax is so creating a table in a database. Our syntax is create. Then after you have to write now it's clear. Create, then you have to write table, then you have to specify your table name. So I write here table name. After that, parenthesis will be on, and we specify our column names inside the parenthesis. So let's suppose our column 1 will stay here with the data type we specify. Let's specify it will be int, and we specify the integrity constraint, that is it will be primary key or not. So let's suppose we take column 1 as a primary key, so we have to specify by writing the primary key. Then we have to write the name of the column 2, its data type. Let's suppose our column 2 contains the data type of varchar and its size. Let's suppose its size is 50. And column 3, its data type varchar or anything of your choice according to the data. And by closing the parenthesis, our create table is created, and after closing the parenthesis, semicolon is also required. So this is our syntax for creating a table in a database. So in this example, you can see that here we are created a table named as worker. You can see here that our worker table is created. So we are using a command create to create a table, and our table name is, this is our table name. This is our table name, and we specify some columns in our worker table, and our columns are worker ID, first name, last name, salary, joining date, and department. And in the columns, worker ID will contain the data type of integer, and it has some properties like it will not null, and it is specified as our worker ID is a primary key. It is a primary key, and its speciality is that it is auto increment. It is automatically increment. We will learn about these functions in the further video. This is our basic introductory video, so please don't worry about these terms. We will learn about these terms in great detail in the further videos. The next one is the next column is first name, which will contain character type of data, and the size of the first name is maximum 25. Similarly, last name has the data type of character, size of 25. Salary, data type of int, size of 15. Joining date should be contain date and time. So here the data type is known as the date time. We specify by writing it as date time. And our department will be character data type of the size 25. We specify this size is not fixed. We specify according to our requirements. So till now we learned about the 4 things, that is creating a database, checking the database, using the database, how to use the database, and the last one is creating a table in a database. Now we learn about how to insert a data in a table. So we learn about inserting values in a database. Okay, so for inserting values in database, we use the command insert into. So our syntax will be insert into. Now we specify our table name, so we write our table name. Let's suppose we writing only syntax, so only writing table name. Then we specify the column names, so we specify here column 1, column 2, column 3, and let's suppose there is the n columns. Then we specify the columns line, then we write values that we want to put it into the columns values, and then we put the values inside the columns by specifying the parentheses. So let's suppose in the column 1 we want to write anything according to their data type. So let's suppose I am writing 25, 50, 51 and 60. Now if you want to make a second row, the first row contains this data 25, 50, 51, 60. If you want to make the second row, then we enter again the values 56, 51, 52, any random value according to your choice. This is only for the example, and at last we can end it by a semicolon. So this is our syntax. Now we see the example of how we can insert our values in a database. So previously we have created a table named as worker, which contains some columns like worker ID, first name, last name, salary, joining date, and the department. Now we want to insert the values in this table named as worker. So let's see how we insert the values in that. So we use the command insert into to insert the values in a table. So here we can see in this example we are using insert into to insert the values in the table named as worker, which we created previously. So we specify the column names on which we want to store the values. So our first column name is worker ID, the second column name is first name, the third column name is last name, you can see that, and the fourth one is salary, joining date, fifth is the joining date, and the sixth one is the department. Now we want to insert values in these columns. So by writing the values, we insert the values. So in the parenthesis we insert values in that. So in worker ID I want to insert a value 001. Then in the first name I stored Monica. In last name I stored Aurora. In salary I stored 1 lakh. And in joining date I stored date of joining with the time. And in the department I entered value HR. Similarly in the second column I have created. Similarly in the second row I have put the values for the worker ID as 002. First name is Niharika, last name is the Gupta, and salary is your 22 lakhs, and joining date is 15 Feb 21, and department is HR head. So similarly we can store for the multiple rows as our requirement in our table. As you can see here that I have created 8 rows. I have created 8 rows in the table named as worker and stored 8 values, means 8 rows with these values. So this is all about the basic commands related to the database. Now if we want to see our stored values from the table, then we use the select command for this. So how we can see our values, let's see. So to see the stored values, in a table, we have the syntax. Let me write. We have syntax select. Basically we use the select command. Star means all columns. Star, by writing the star we specify that we want the values of all the columns. So select star, then we specify our table name by writing from, and here we specify our table name and semicolon. So by writing this command we can see our stored values in a table. So let's see the example for clarity. So here, as previously we have created a table named as worker, then we insert the values in the worker. Now we want to see the values stored in the worker, then we use the command select command. Then by writing this command, that is select star from worker, we can see all the values inserted in the worker table. So select star from worker will give the output is worker ID, first name, last name, salary, joining date, and the department. These six are our columns. As you can see here that we have created our columns in the here by specifying in a table. So in a table we have specified the 6 columns: worker ID, first name, last name, salary, joining date, and the department. And after that we insert values in that. So here you can see that by this command you will get all the details stored in the worker table. So here we stored 8 rows values. So here you can see that I am not specifying all the values, but here you can see that I mentioned that 1 2 3 8 values. All values are stored in this table. So you can get all the details about the table named as worker from this command select star from. Star specified all columns, that it is specified the SQL that user required all the details of all the columns. So this is all in this video. Please subscribe my channel for tech related contents. Thank you everyone.